A tumultuous meeting exposes a yawning chasm between Roland, Frederica, and Benedict's visions for the future. Yet only one will emerge victorious, for such is the custom of House Wolffort. As ever, the scales of conviction have the final word. The time has come for judgments to be rendered and leaders to steel themselves for the outcome.
We've chosen our path. We are to free the Roselle being held in Hyzant's source.
You have chosen the one path I cannot take.
I understand your disappointment, Benedict, but the scales have spoken. And so I ask for your wisdom. Help us find a way to free the Roselle.
Hyzant will destroy everything you hold dear if you attempt to free them. That way lies ruin. Your choice is to turn your back on this house, to cast aside your land and the people who have built their lives upon it. I will not, I cannot endorse such betrayal.
I agree that we will be ill-prepared to defend the domain this way. Should that come to pass, I am prepared to flee with the Roselle and search for Centralia. They say it is home to a boundless salted sea. Surely a land where none need fight for salt is a land worth seeking. This is an opportunity, Benedict. We could find a new home instead of fighting the wars of old yet again.
Why not channel that resolve to lead the people of Norzelia as their king? You hold the power and the might. You lack only the will. With the salt crystals in hand, you shall ascend the throne. I shall see to it that you are coronated. Then we can liberate the Roselle, or whatever else your heart desires.
Liberate the Roselle, or whatever else. I never dreamed I would hear such callous words fall from your lips.
I stand by them. I care only that you and the legacy of House Wolffort are safe and secure. I shall offer my counsel by force, if needed.
You don't mean to fight the lad.
Stand down, Benedict.
No, Anna. This is a challenge that I must accept.
I beg you to reconsider. If you mean to proceed with this folly, then you will do so over my dead body. You can do so much more, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the upper hand. Esfrost and Hyzant would bend the knee to you. You could unite all Norzelia under your rule.
You were right about me, Benedict. I lack the will. I have no desire to rule Norzelia. I wish to see an oppressed people set free and nothing more.
At what cost? Would you see your loyal subjects conquered by another nation?
I would forfeit my lordship. The people of Wolffort will endure without me. The Roselle have no such champion for their cause. We are the only ones who can set them free.
Give me the order, and I shall reduce Hyzant to rubble. Then they shall be free.
The ensuing battle will only breed further resentment, or worse, displace others who will be treated like the Roselle. War cannot solve every problem, and our liberation of the Roselle shall prove as much.
So, you now take blind counsel from your betrothed. To think that an arranged marriage will lead to this folly.
Enough! I came to this conclusion of my own free will. I have seen the challenges that face Norzelia, and this is how I choose to respond.
You are every inch Lady Destra's child. Your compassion steers you headlong into every conflict. Alas, compassion is easily trampled. It can only exist so long as it has an army at its back. My patience grows thin, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the power to bring peace to Norzelia.
You're wrong. It is little more than the catalyst for another protracted war.
A war we can win. Let me lead you to victory.
There is always a war to be won. Do you not see the cycle at work? I will break that cycle and use my power to liberate the oppressed.
You talk of fleeing from your duty, of pure fantasy.
We need you, Benedict. Why can you not put our differences aside?
This is absurd. You race toward your own destruction, and I will not be party to it. Lord Simon entrusted me with the future of this house. And I swore an oath to Lady Destra that I would protect you no matter what the cost.
You are shackled to the past, Benedict.
I would call it loyalty.
And it has come to this. For the sake of our future, I must strike you down.
Prepare yourself. You came, you missed.
Here!
You came, you missed. I yield. Grant me the mercy of a swift death.
No. Neither father nor mother would stand for the killing of a loyal retainer. The rest of us shall make our way to Hyzant in secret. You will remain here. Lead the people out of the Wolffort domain before the Hyzantian army assaults this castle, and keep them safe.
These are your orders, in exchange for sparing my life?
These are not orders, and there is no exchange to be made. This is the last thing I will ever ask of you as my steward and loyal friend of House Wolffort.
And so, you follow in the footsteps of Lord Simon and Lady Destra, leaving me behind with the most arduous tasks. I shall rise to the occasion, my lord. I shall do whatever is required to see that the Wolffort name and its people survive. Should House Wolffort lose its lord, I shall lead the house forward in your stead.
I have no doubt you will.
Benedict.
Mule-headed fool.
We've each made our choices. Now we must walk the path we believe is right.
Yes.
King Roland, this decision means casting Glenbrook aside. I know I cannot ask you to come with me, but will you agree to see to the salt crystals?
No. I am sorry, my friend. But I am not worthy to oversee such an important task.
Of course you are. You have always striven to be fair and just.
You hold me much too high in regard. Our conversation earlier made me realize the truth. My faith was misguided, as were my actions. I believed exacting vengeance upon Esfrost would be proof enough I was Glenbrook's rightful king. But I gave no thought to the bloody cost of revenge. This kingdom and its subjects should not have to suffer such a selfish fool upon the throne.
Then, you will come with me?
I shall. Not as your king, but as your friend. If I can help those in need, that is enough. Glenbrook has the geographical advantage, and the salt crystals. And there are a small handful of trustworthy nobles remaining. I'm certain they will ensure the people thrive, even without a king. Glenbrook is in too powerful a position for foreign powers to interfere.
Roland.
You know you aren't leaving me behind. I've come this far by your side. I'm not abandoning you now.
You have my thanks, Huette.
Frederica, don't you think you ought to make your convictions clear to your companions?
Well, it's common knowledge by now that I'm an Esfrosti of Rosellan descent. I was a lonely child who hated that her hair was a different color from everyone else. But then I joined House Wolford. I met Jerome and witnessed the cruelty that my fellow Roselle suffered at the source. And I learned how brave my mother was, how long and hard she fought for her people's freedom. Compared to the horrors they went through, I have lived a life of privilege and comfort. I am proud to be a Rosellan, and proud to be a Wolford. I wish to be strong like my lady mother before me. And I wish to see her dream of freeing our people fulfilled. I understand the difficulties that lie ahead, but hope that I might have you all with me.
We will always be there beside you, Frederica.
My lord, Hyzant's army has sent a message ahead of their forces. It says, the Grand Norzalian mines must be conferred to the goddess as a divine offering.
An offering? Sounds more like an ultimatum.
Precisely. If we refuse to relinquish the mines, they'll put the Wolford domain to the sword.
Then we've no time to waste. We must make ready to leave at once.
Benedict.
I leave the rest in your hands, Anna.
All these years I have watched you. I may not be able to replace you, but I will do my best.
Loath as I am to burden you with such responsibility, that is heartening.
This ain't the Benedict I know. Come on. Where's your usual glower?
You never change.
Huh. I should hope not. Defending House Wolford calls for consistency. And defend Wolford I shall, even in your absence.
I shall hold you to it, both of you.
I'm telling you, we've got it under control.
Your voice hasn't gotten any quieter.
Sorry. Parting ways with a friend always gets me worked up.
Thank you for seeing me off, you two. Farewell.
What of the Hyzantian forces?
They haven't entered the domain yet. If we act now, we could sneak around them and reach the capital.
Focused as they are on seizing the salt crystal deposits, I'd wager their domestic defenses are at a minimum.
If we can get into the capital and have the Roselle and the Source take up arms, we should stand a fair chance of helping them escape.
But Hyzant is wary of Serenoa for keeping the salt crystals from them, despite his position as one of the Saintly Seven. They may be short-handed, but if they spot him, we'll never make it inside.
We can use the Consortium cart to slip unnoticed into the capital.
The wagon from Claris? You sure we can trust the Consortium?
Yes. If only because this benefits both us and him. In exchange, I told him what secrets we learned of Esfrost and Hyzant.
You mean you told him of Dragan's murder and the illicit salt trade? I hope he understands those secrets must never leave his lips.
He understands. Once people learn of the salt crystals, Norzelia will change. And the Consortium will have a new role to serve. Now that they know, they will be better prepared to negotiate their position. They agreed to help us as a show of gratitude.
You've thought this through. Well done, Anna.
What of our things, Gila?
Stored safely within the cart, of course.
Things? What things?
The explosives we found in the tunnel.
After we've gotten the Roselle to rise up, we'll set sail from the harbor and make for the Folk's Domain, to the Great Falls. To make sure no one follows us, we'll blow up all the other ships in the harbor as we leave.
Frederica and I devised the plan ourselves.
A perfect way to make an escape with so many people.
Wise of you to make for the Folk's Domain. It's distant enough. You'll have plenty of time to hide.
Aye, about as far south as you can get. No better place, if you're in goal as Centralia, too.
It's a good plan. We shall do what we can to make sure it succeeds.
Crafty as ever, you Wolforts. I'm glad to be on your side.
But one problem remains. How do we get the Roselle and the Source to turn against their captors? If we can't win their trust, all this is for naught.
We need some way of persuading them. And quickly, too.
Let me worry about that. I can find the words to convince them. I am my mother's daughter, after all.
All right. I know you'll figure something out, Frederica.
There is one more thing. Huette, I'll need to send a bird.
Of course, my lady. Where to?
The Rosellan village. I'd like to tell Jerome and the others of our plan. I would have them meet us at the Great Falls.
Agreeing to such a thing means they will have to give up the lives they enjoy now. Do you think they will come?
I cannot say. Regardless, I owe it to them to let them know Hyzant is invading.
Indeed. Let us send word and see what they have to say.
Upon learning of the salt crystal deposits, Hyzant quickly musters her forces. They march upon the Wolfort Domain, intent on seizing control of the mine. Serenoa decides to take this as an opportunity to free the Roselle enslaved at the Source. But that decision leads to Benedict's departure from House Wolfort. Still grappling with grief over parting ways with their friend, Serenoa and the others make for the Hyzantian capital. There, amidst a land in turmoil, they hope to help the Roselle rise up against their oppressors.
Archduke Gustadolf, we received word from Wolfort. XM's forces have crossed into their domain.
So they know of the salt crystals. Then battle is inevitable. But how will House Wolfort respond?
I should think it obvious they will attack us. Their lord is one of the Saintly Seven, after all.
I am unconvinced of that. Perhaps they will offer us salt crystals to secure our alliance.
To what end?
History is changing around us as we speak. If Wolfort wishes to guide the shape our future takes, he will need all the help he can get. He can choose to submit to Hyzant's tyranny, or work with us to bring freedom to our land. Or he might choose to take advantage of the chaos. Will you follow in Lady Orlea's footsteps, Frederica? Somehow I doubt it.
Your pardon, Archduke.
It's nothing. I let my thoughts wander too far. Whatever path Wolford chooses, they all lead to war. Ready our forces.
Ah, my shop! Someone stop this madness!
Carry on screaming and sniveling! This land is ours now, and we'll do as we please!
You monsters!
Ha! Try me! I'll cut you down where you stand! And just what do you think you're doing?
You disgust me. Be gone from this place.
So, you've chosen death then?
Hold! Lest my eyes deceive me, is that not Sir Flanagan?
And what if I am?
'Tis him! The bloody shield in the flesh!
Former Black Iron Captain! Damn it all! Run for your life, you fool!
How far they have fallen. They confuse might for morality, and sully the duchy's good name.
Hail, soldier! I cannot thank you enough for coming to my aid.
'Tis instinct. I cannot abide such cruelty. Though I no longer call myself a soldier, it is the only station my skills afford me.
My lord, a man calling himself Flanagan requests an audience. Will you grant it?
Flanagan? The name sounds familiar somehow.
Ah, he fought in the tourney, didn't he? The one they call the Bloody Shield.
The Isfrosti soldier. What brings him to me? Anyhow, send him in.
My lord.
Been a few moons, Bloody Shield.
And many more since I answered to that name.
Then what brings an Isfrosti to us this day?
Words cannot bring back your countrymen, but I give them to you anyway. I condemn the duchy's actions with every fiber of my being. Deeply ashamed am I of our Archduke's willingness to shed the blood of innocents. Meager though they may be, you have my sympathies.
So, you came all this way just to apologize? You're a strange one, all right.
I am well aware that words alone mean little. And that is why I offer my service, that my words might ring true.
Why House Wolford? There are far greater armies that would give anything to have a warrior like you in their ranks.
I have no interest in further bolstering the might of Esfrost or Hyzant. They trample the weak with no remorse. I will stand for it no longer.
And you think you can stand here and call us weak? You little...
You intrigue me, Sir Flanagan. But what of your title? Is your shield truly stained with blood?
'Tis a name given to me by men, nothing more.
You can trust he'll hold his own in battle if you take him in. One look is enough to tell you that.
A boon to our cause, then. Provided we ourselves do not become the very thing you despise. House Wolford welcomes you, Sir Flanagan.
The feeling of intrigue is mutual. I am at your service.
You're two peas in a pod, aren't you?
Minister Exham's forces ought to be crossing into Wolfort's domain any moment now.
Will it be war, or will they relinquish the salt crystal deposits without resistance?
I think we have no cause for worry. Minister Serenoa is one of our saintly seven, after all.
Nevertheless, we cannot be certain what he will choose. Whoever controls those salt crystals controls the future of all Norzelia. Knowing that, you truly think he would give them up without a fight?
Minister Lila is right. He may very well decide to ally with Aesfrost and rise up against us. I made sure Minister Exham understood he may very well be marching to war.
Wolfort is a prideful house. If we apply too much pressure on them, they may hold out simply out of principle.
Honestly, they are more trouble than they are worth. It almost makes me wish we could turn them and Aesfrost against each other.
That is something else to consider. We could even promise them the Roselle's freedom, should they triumph over the duchy.
A fine proposition. The best outcome would be to have them destroy Aesfrost for good.
And in doing so, they'd be destroyed themselves. Surely you would not wish for such slaughter.
Soft hearts have no place here, Minister Camsell. We fight for control of all Norzelia.
And we must fight to win. Our troops will need Aelfric, Minister Lila. See that they have it.
Of course. I'll see to any final adjustments at the Ministry of Medicine.
What? You want us to leave the city?
You couldn't have told us this sooner? I've got a family to worry about.
I understand I ask much of you, but a bloody battle is nigh. You must be ready to evacuate if it comes to it.
But where is our lord? Won't he protect us?
Lord Serenoa marches toward an even fiercer conflict than what we face here. He left me to protect the people of Wolford in his stead. I ask that you trust in our house and do as I bid.
All right then. I suppose we'll start packing.
Your mastery at matters of war has kept us safe this long. If you say we need to leave, that's what we'll do.
You have my thanks. I've one more thing to ask of you. Something I'd like each of you to make.
Concealed aboard Claris's consortium cart, Serenoa and his retinue slip out of the Wolfort domain past Exham's forces and make for the Hyzantian capital. As soon as they arrive, they review the particulars of their plan to lead the Roselle in revolt.
Scouts are reporting the Hyzantian army has crossed into the Wolfort domain. The force is commanded by Minister Exham, and is many times larger than what they used when we marched on the Crown City.
Enough to destroy Castle Wolfort, and then some. They ain't aiming just to scare us.
A foe even Benedict would be hard-pressed to prevail against.
Have faith, Anna. Benedict will protect our people as he always has.
I know.
That said, we cannot defend the domain itself. Our land and our castle will doubtless fall to Exham's forces.
Then we must act as if we have no home to return to.
We cannot waver in our resolve.
No, the time for doubts is long past. Listen well. After we have freed the Roselle from the source, we will set our sights on their homeland in the south, on Centralia. We will find the Endless Sea and create a land free of suffering. A far-fetched dream if ever there was one, I know. I will not blame any of you if you do not wish to come.
A bit late for second thoughts now.
Aye, we're with you, my lord. Wherever you will lead us.
Then it's decided. We have much to discuss about our rescue plan. Claris, if you would.
The wagon will have to pass through an inspection at the Goddess's shield before entering the city. I can throw my consortium weight around to see you safely through the inspection, but that's about all I'm good for.
That's more than enough. Thank you.
Then let's muscle our way into the source. The guards won't expect an attack from the outside.
Getting in is not what worries me.
Indeed. The biggest obstacle we face is getting the Roselle to follow us out.
They've been treated as criminals under the teachings for so long, they've come to believe they are guilty. They might be too terrified of disobeying the goddess to even agree to rise up.
My mother led them in revolt 30 years ago.
True, but only a small handful of people escaped.
I know. Freeing all of them means we must be even bolder than my mother.
Have you thought of how you'll convince them?
I have. I will smash the statue of the goddess to pieces. If they see her idol destroyed, the fear shackled about their hearts will break. Without terror to hold them back, the uprising of 30 years ago will look tiny in comparison.
But that statue is massive. How are you gonna reduce it to rubble?
I'm going to blow it up.
Yes, if we use all the explosives we have, it will come crumbling down. But then we'd have none to destroy the ships that pursue us.
Exactly. That's why I think we ought to use Elfric on the ships instead.
Elfric? It is more powerful than the explosives.
And perfect for blowing up ships.
There must be some stored at the Ministry of Medicine, considering Minister Lila's involvement in its creation. But how will we detonate it without Milo?
Considering all the research they conducted, there must be some sort of documentation on how to use it.
Then what are we waiting for? If Lady Frederica's plan is going to succeed, we better go track some down.
All right, then we have our plan.
My friends. Thank you.
I'll handle the guards. Don't move a muscle, any of you. Don't even breathe. Hail! I am Claris of the Consortium. I bring goods for trade in the city, if you'll give me leave to pass.
Claris! Consortium's working you hard.
In these dangerous times, 'tis a privilege to be in such good employ. But you're worked even harder than I. Here, a small token of my appreciation.
You always have been a thoughtful man. Go on, then.
Wait. We cannot allow unscheduled goods into the city without inspection.
Fine. Guess there's no such thing as being too careful.
You needn't worry. Minister Kamsel of the Saintly Seven sent for these goods himself.
He did?
Oh, yes. Look closely, and you'll see.
What have you done? Ah, you snake! I must call for reinforcements!
Claris, are you all right?
My apologies. Luckily, mine was the only face they saw. I will draw off the reinforcements while you make for the Ministry of Medicine. Quickly now. And do not forget to retrieve the explosives you buried in my cargo.
I'm sorry we've put you to such trouble. And we'll likely have to blow up Consortium ships on top of everything else.
Cause as much trouble as you wish. I know you'll repay me for it once this is all over.
Hurry. The majority of their forces may be absent, but we're finished if a guard catches sight of us.
To the Ministry of Medicine with us.
Unsurprising to find researchers here.
Hyzant still doesn't know we're moving against them. They shouldn't think us suspicious as long as we walk at a calm pace.
We can't go that slowly. Minister Kamzil is in charge of the guards, and he's no pushover. The longer we take, the more we'll lose our freedom of movement.
Clerys is clever, but he could still get captured.
Then we'd best split up.
Indeed. We must find the Aelfric, and quickly.
Lord Serenoa, look at this book.
What is it?
Did you find it?
No, only a book.
The Aelfric method in practice. Does this detail how it is made?
Seems that way. It's littered with arcane terms I can scarcely comprehend. But if I'm grasping this correctly, the main component of Aelfric is human remains. It says here, having harvested the corpses of Roselle who perished at the source.
Harvesting corpses? For what foul purpose?
We did not intend for Aelfric to be weaponized. Our original goal was to harness its immense magical capabilities to power the automaton.
Automaton? What manner of contraption is that?
I do not know, but I doubt it is anything kind or good.
I thought the Ministry of Medicine was supposed to, figure out how to save lives, not how to profit off death.
We've glimpsed the rot at Hyzant's core.
Minister Serenoa, what are you doing here?
Minister Lila, did you use Rosellan remains to create Aelfric?
I advise taking more care with your words, Minister Serenoa. You are one of the Saintly Seven. You have a responsibility to protect Hyzant's secrets.
Then it is true.
You steal their freedom, their very lives. And you dare to call what you do healing?
Everything I have done was as the goddess willed. I call myself nothing but her loyal servant. All of us are hers to command.
No, not all of us.
House Wolfort means to free the Roselle from the goddess's tyranny.
Do you now?
As one committed to the preservation of life, you know salt should not be a luxury for the privileged few. Is that not what you told me? Help us. If not for the Roselle, then to change Hyzant for the better.
Change Hyzant? How wonderful that would be.
Then...
No, I cannot help you. The Holy One would have my head for turning traitor. Besides, my hands are far too bloody to ever be washed clean.
Minister Lila had the key to the laboratory. We found the Aelfric within.
And documents detailing its use. We know how to trigger it now.
Then we can destroy both the statue of the goddess and the ships that'd give chase.
My people suffered so this Aelfric could be created. For their sake, we cannot fail.
We shan't. I think even Minister Lila, in her heart of hearts, had prayed for our success.
So she understood the injustice of it all and sought to aid us. What makes you think that?
I imagine circumstances prevented her from acts of outright defiance.
Perhaps the Saintly Seven are not so free to act according to their own principles. If that's the case, then the so-called equality under the goddess that Hyzant loves to espouse is nothing but hypocrisy.
Indeed. There is nothing righteous about a faith that preaches appropriating a person's very death. Let us to the source. The goddess's oppression has gone on long enough.
They haven't added more soldiers to the ramparts, meaning they haven't noticed us yet.
Clara's has him nice and distracted for us. But I don't think we can stay hidden for this next bit.
No, the source is heavily guarded inside. Sneaking in to quietly foment rebellion is not an option. We must defeat the guards and convince the Roselle to rise up in a very short amount of time.
Before reinforcements arrive to put us down. Frederica, everything rests on your ability to sway them to our side.
My lady, you're quivering.
I know what I will say, what I will do. Whether I will succeed, however, I do not know. And not knowing frightens me. I hate that I'm such a coward, when my mother was so brave.
There isn't a person in the world who doesn't fear the future. Not your mother, not the Rosellan, not I. Being brave isn't about being fearless. It's about acting regardless of how terrified you are. We are here because we refuse to let fear rule us. Remember, Frederica, you are not alone. We will see this through together.
I needed to hear that, Sheila. Mother, please guide us. Guide me. Serenoa, I am ready. I can do this.
I know you can. Come then. The source awaits.
After defeating Lila and securing the Aelfric, Serenoa and his retinue make for the source to free the Roselle. Meanwhile, Hyzantian forces commanded by Exham arrive at Castle Wolfort's doorstep, intent on claiming the salt crystal deposits for themselves. Refusing to hand over the salt, House Wolfort has barricaded themselves inside with hundreds of soldiers. Their outright defiance makes Exham cautious, suspecting some sort of trap. He opts to surround the castle and prepares for an extended siege. But the Wolfort soldiers don't move an inch. Patience worn thin, Exham orders an attack. His soldiers swarm into the castle.
There's no one here.
What is the meaning of this?
Our scouts didn't see enemy soldiers. Only straw dolls.
Minister Exham, the castle is empty.
They must have abandoned the castle, told their people to flee. Damn! They twisted our vigilance against us to buy themselves time.
But where have they gone to?
I cannot say.
What are you scheming, Wolfort?
Well, seize the castle in any case. This domain belongs to Hyzant now.
Sir.
After routing Exham with his strange strategy, and seeing Wolfort's people safely to Glenbrook's crown city, Benedict disappears. His actions draw Hyzant's full attention entirely to the Wolfort domain, making it easy for Serenoa and his retinue to slip into the source. But whether they can convince the Roselle to rebel depends entirely on Frederica. Which way the winds of fate will blow is anyone's guess.
Halt! What are you... Ah!
Goddess, what have you done? Who are you?
My name is Frederica Esfrost. Daughter of Orlea, the woman who led the Source Rebellion 30 years ago. With me is Lord Serenoa of House Wolford, my husband. We have come to liberate you, but we cannot do it without your help. We need you to take a stand and fight by our side.
Husband? It's true then, what they say? That you accepted a Rosellan as one of your own?
Yes, Frederica is my wife. House Wolfort pledges itself to the Roselle's defense. Let us leave this wretched place far behind us.
Leave Hyzant? No. We'd only be throwing ourselves upon the soldiers' swords.
Our ancestors stained us with sin the moment they tried to hoard salt for themselves. The goddess will never absolve us unless we dedicate our lives serving her here. Don't keep us from our atonement.
It's not like there's anywhere for us to go, even if we fled.
There is. My mother told me of the Rosellan homeland. A place far, far to the south, surrounded by a vast expanse of salt water. Centralia. Everything's already in place for your escape. All that we need to succeed is for you to trust us.
Centralia. A vast expanse of salt water.
It's just a myth. You can't expect us to believe it's real.
I knew Lady Orlea. You do bear her likeness. She, too, insisted the Holy State's teachings were a lie. That we must break the chains the false goddess bound us with, and seek Centralia. Those words sparked rebellion. But only a handful of us managed to escape in the end. Took a bit of the goddess's statue with him. That's all.
I was a child at the time, so I don't remember it that well. Still, I doubt you lot will accomplish much more than she did.
I understand your hesitation, but nothing will change if we do not take a stand. Do you really want our people to be trapped here forever?
Of course not, but...
We fear what Hyzant will do to us.
No one can defy the goddess. That's what they have always taught us.
I understand. It isn't easy to act against generations of oppression and terror.
Then we destroy the very thing that represents all they fear. The statue of the goddess. Show them she can be defeated.
Best do it soon. I doubt we have much time until Hyzant realizes we're here.
None of you move. Countless guards killed at the gate, and Minister Lila struck down at her own institution. All your doing, I presume, Minister Serenoa.
I do not deny it.
And now, here you are in the source. Any fool could see what you mean to do.
Yes. We are here to free the Roselle.
You're a reasonable man, Minister Campsell. You must know there is no reason to enslave these people. Pray let us go in peace.
The goddess herself decreed the Roselle must serve here. It is all part of her plan.
Then her plan is wrong.
The goddess can never be wrong. What is wrong is those who would defy her. It is my duty to see blasphemers brought to justice, not to turn the other cheek while they slink away unpunished. You will pay for your grievous sins, Serenoa Wolffort, with your life.
They defeated one of the Saintly Seven.
They did all that to free us? Can we really leave?
No one's going anywhere! You defy the goddess, you die!
Ah!
Not while I still stand. Ah!
Frederica! Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's only a scratch. But we have to plant the explosives on the statue while we still can.
Leave it to us.
Lady Frederica, why are you doing all this for us?
Because you do not deserve to be treated like this.
But our people are sinners. We coveted Salt, and in doing so plunged Norzelia into an age of blood and chaos.
No, that is a lie, concocted by the goddess's teachings. My mother left me records of the truth. Our ancestors came to Norzelia to stop the ceaseless wars to control the source, to save its people. They excavated a giant pillar of salt from beneath the very earth, with the intention of dividing it equally among all. They were wise, and compassionate, and selfless.
Then, we have nothing to atone for? Truly?
Nothing. You are free of sin. You are free.
Your mother, Lady Ornea, kept our people's history. If you say this thing is true, then it is true. But it is also true that Hyzant would never allow us to be free.
We know. That's why we want to take you somewhere else. Somewhere Hyzant holds no power. Your people's homeland, Centralia. Together, I'm certain we will reach it.
The explosives are set!
There is nothing left to fear, and I shall prove it to you.
The statue!
You blew her up!
Oh, Lady Ornea, your dream has finally come true.
Look. The goddess that ruled you is nothing but a pile of rubble. And even if the goddess did exist, she would never force people to live like this. Everyone has the right to choose their own path based on their own convictions. That is what it means to be alive, to be human.
To be human.
Rise up. Come with us to Centralia.
I'm going. I'm going with Lady Frederica.
As am I. What is there left to fear?
You're right. If there's somewhere we belong out there, somewhere we can be free, we have to find it. To our homeland.
To Centralia! Everyone make for the harbor. We'll sail down the river and then all the way south.
How did you fare at the harbor, Eredor?
Just fine, my lord. Got the Roselle safely boarded on our commandeered vessel, and set Elfric upon the rest of the ships.
Perfect.
You did a fine job rallying the Roselle, Lady Frederica. Well done.
We aren't done quite yet. Not until we are all safe upon Centralia's shore.
True, but we've overcome a major hurdle. That is something to be proud of. I'm sure Lady Orlea would say the same.
Thank you, Gila.
Your words touched me too, Frederica. Truly. I am proud to fight for the Roselle's freedom and for their future.
I could not have done this without you. Thank you.
You needn't thank me. What sort of husband would I be if I did not do everything in my power to aid my wife?
Serenoa! Forgive me. I should not have called you husband when we are not yet wed. I only hoped it would help the Roselle trust me.
Don't apologize. I liked the way it sounded. If anything, I should be the one making amends to you. I've given you no wedding, not even a ring.
What need have I of either? Though, there is something I wish to give you, if you'll have it.
Your mother's pendant, but it is so precious to you.
That is why I wish you to have it.
I will treasure it always. I promise you, whatever happens, I will never regret choosing this path.
Nor will I, my love.
Come, we must make haste for the harbor. Once we reach the Great Falls at Norzelia's southern tip, we will be safe.
Frederica, Serenoa, and the others help the Roselle break out of the source and flee Hyzant by ship. Behind them, the harbor is engulfed in violet flames when the Elfric explodes, destroying the remaining vessels and any chance the Hyzantians had at pursuing them. They sail down the Nozelia River, heading for the Great Falls deep in the Folk's domain. From there, they will journey south in search of the Roselle's ancestral homeland, Centralia.
Minister Idor, the Roselle have revolted.
I am aware. I hear they destroyed the statue of the goddess.
How's Wolfort's doing? They've stolen a ship and fled the capital. Minister Exham is embroiled in battle with the Esfrosti near the Glenbrook border. I cannot reach either Minister Lila or Minister Camsell. There's nothing we can do to...
I shall go after them. The Wolforts and the Roselle have made a mockery of our goddess. Such blasphemy cannot go unpunished.
But we've no ships, and you'll never catch them if you go over land.
Perhaps not with an ordinary horse. But they will not escape. They are about to witness the true might of the goddess.
Please, good sir, toss us a spare coin.
A beggar.
Cast off from the Asfrosti mine, no doubt. Focus, Rudolph. There is work to be done.
Many thanks, sir. May your good deed be returned tenfold.
Apologies for that, man. On we go.
This war has forced so many into poverty. Everyone looks a bit more downtrodden these days. Is everything all right? You seem miles away.
Just thinking of the past is all.
You've made your last run, smuggler scum!
Damn it all! Looks like I'm done for.
You're under arrest for the illegal transportation and distribution of salt.
Please, you've got to let me go. I beg you. My little brother needs me. He'll die if you don't. He's sick and...
A likely story. What a pity, then, that you chose to betray your country rather than support him through honest means. Throw him in a cell so he can contemplate the consequences of his crimes.
No! Get your hands off me! You gotta let me go! I got to smuggling salt so I could afford medicine for my brother. We could barely put food on the table, let alone find money for medicine. I know it ain't right, but what choice did I have? He died while I was locked up. I broke my promise to him.
I had no idea.
It's not anything to do with you anyhow. Let's get back to work.
The Great Falls.
The southernmost tip of all Norzelia. We still have a ways to go until we reach Centralia. But once we pass the falls, we pass out of any pursuer's reach.
Lord Serenoa, Lady Frederica.
Jerome, you came.
Of course we did. We wish to accompany you. To secure our people's future, and to repay you for all House Wolford has done for us.
Thank you, Jerome.
And we've brought your wedding gown, Lady Frederica. It's all ready.
You didn't!
Splendid! We'll hold you the finest wedding Centralia has ever seen.
That is as far as you go.
Hedor! Impossible! How did you catch up to us?
Nothing is impossible for one blessed by the goddess.
The horse.
Experimental prototypes never do last long. Still, it is enough to see you filthy heretics destroyed. Lila did well to leave it behind.
Is that the automaton she created?
Ah, so you knew of it. Then you'll know it commands the very power of the goddess. Her power is beyond what the human intellect can possibly understand. You cannot hope to defy a divine being like that.
Watch us. We will go where even she cannot reach.
Yes, I heard. You seek the Rosellan homeland, Bold of you to assume such a place actually exists. No one has ever set foot on the land beyond these falls. Those who have tried found nothing but a brutal death in an empty wilderness. Even if there is somewhere hospitable out there, there is no guarantee you will survive long enough to see it. You do not deny it. See, Roselle? See how she has deceived you? Kill them and return to the goddess. Correct your mistakes, and she will show you mercy.
She can take her mercy and stuff it! We're going with Lady Frederica. End of story!
Nothing at the source for us but suffering and death anyhow. If I'm going to suffer and die, I'm going to do it looking for my homeland.
We've had enough of letting the goddess dictate our lives. We choose our own path now, and that is something we will never regret.
There you have it, Idor.
Very well. If death is what you fools prefer, death is what I will give you.
Jerome, we'll hold him here. Get your people across the bridge.
All right. Everyone, follow me!
Grah!
Serenoa! They've all made it across.
Then let us follow. Lower the bridge.
You shall not escape!
Violet flames! No!
You will never escape! The goddess must be perfect. The history of the Roselle must remain buried. I have spent too long building the teachings to let filth like you tear it all down. Let us die together!
Serenoa!
I'll save you! Stay back! Idor has Elfric! It'll go off any second!
You are an astute one, aren't you? This was created to give life to our Holy One. But it has power enough to reduce this whole place to so much ash. You brought the goddess's wrath upon you. Now, I will see you burn!
No! Retreat, all of you! I'll keep it contained!
No! No, you can't!
Go, my lord! I'll take your place!
Stay back! There's no time! Roland, get them away from here! Far away! Damn you! You heard the man! Run!
No, Serenoa! Serenoa!
Fool! What did you think you would gain, martyring yourself? See how quickly your friends abandon you?
You think they've abandoned me? Where they go, they take with them my heart, my love, and everything I am. But I don't expect a tyrannical goddess to understand what it means to be family.
Any luck?
None whatsoever.
My lady, I am loath to say it, but we cannot search forever.
Please, please, just a few more minutes. My mother's pendant!
Serenoa. I couldn't protect him.
If only we'd been stronger. I'm so sorry.
This never would have happened if you hadn't tried to help us.
I promise you, whatever happens, I will never regret choosing this path.
Nor will I, my love. No one is to blame. No one forced us to do this. We chose. Speaking one's mind, acting accordingly, and accepting responsibility. That is our house's way, is it not, Eredor?
Right you are, my lady. That's what it means to be a Wolfort.
This is but the first step of our journey. Come, my friends, we have further to go. Let me make good on the promises I have made to you. And to my husband.
Lady Frederica.
We're with you to the end.
Let's go. All of us.
To Centralia!
And so, House Wolfort and the Roselle disappear, never to be seen on Norzellian soil again. The realm they leave behind soon crumbles into chaos. With the statue of the goddess destroyed, and most of their saintly seven killed, Hyzant's faithful splinter. Violent feuds spark between the various factions as they vie for dominance of a broken land. In Esfrost, Lord Svarog conspires with the surviving Glenbrook nobles to lead an uprising against Archduke Gustadolf, plunging the duchy into civil war. It is an endless cycle of bloodshed, alliances forged and broken, and betrayal. In time, the various powers, having long since abandoned their ideals, fight only for survival. The source and the crystal deposits change hands too many times to count. This violent chapter of Norzellian history would come to be known as the Era of Salt and Blood.
So Svarog seeks to avenge his son's murder by attacking the capital, does he? Oh, the lengths the parent will go for their child.
Archduke, we've taken enemy cannon fire.
gutsy bastard. Lend me a soldier or two, Archduke. We'll smash that cannon to pieces before they fire it again.
No need to be reckless. The device is incomplete. Its aim is poor at best.
But sir, our troops are rattled. We must do something.
I already have. Isn't that right, Benedict?
Indeed, the old Glenbrook nobles aiding Svarog have been dealt with. He'll have a knife in his back soon enough.
That can't be all.
Our dear Exham let slip an interesting observation. That, with Glenbrook deserted, now would be an opportune time to cut out the rot.
Meaning you plan to destroy all our enemies in one go of it.
Yes, other measures to crush what remains of Hyzant are also progressing apace.
How efficient.
Now, about what you've promised.
I haven't forgotten. Once I control Norzelia, the former Wolford domain will be yours. Including, of course, the people you care so deeply for.
I shall hold you to that vow.
Not a man to be trifled with, old Benedict.
With all due respect, sir, but isn't it dangerous to give territory to a man like that?
Not in the least. He lives for oaths he made in the past. Nothing more. He hasn't the ambition nor the means to supplant me. But such genius shouldn't be allowed to go to waste. He is a perfect tool, one I shall make good use of.
Another day of calm seas.
The water is so pretty, like a giant mirror for the sky. Thank you, Lady Frederica.
What for?
I just love the sea so much. My mother told me what happened when I was a baby. She said we wouldn't be here in Centralia if it weren't for you. So thanks. Thanks for bringing me to the sea.
It was my pleasure.
Oh, what a pretty pendant! It looks like treasure.
That's because it is. It's a keepsake from my mother. Inside are memories of her. And of someone I once loved very, very much.